Hello all, welcome back. Previously we have seen what is consignment and its process. So today we'll see some basic terms of the consignment. So let's get started. So guys, starting with the first concept, that is first basic term is consignor. Consignor is the person who sends goods to agent on consignment basis. So in our example, Mr. A is a consignor who sends goods to agent for the selling basis on commission. Second is consignee, the person to whom goods are sent for selling. So that is Mr. B in our example. So if you say Mr. A is consignor and Mr. B is consignee. Now third, consignment, there's a dispatch of goods. So the whatever goods is sent by A to B, that is called as consignment. So over here this goods were consignment. Fourth, Proforma invoice. Now this is very important. When A transfer goods to B, it is not your actual sales. So A cannot give sales invoice or tax invoice to B. But when A is giving goods to B, A will have to give some details regarding the quantity, variety, prices of the goods. So for that, A will give a rough invoice to B, that is called as Proforma invoice. So it is not an actual tax invoice, it is similar to invoice, you can say. So Proforma invoice is like a rough invoice sent to consignee to convey information regarding quantity, varieties, price, expenses incurred. When A send goods to B, A will also have to incur some expenses for the transportation. So that expenses incurred. So all that expenses and goods detail will be there in Proforma invoice. When we will actually sell those goods to some other person, to third party, that time the bill which is generated or the invoice which is generated would be actual tax invoice. Next is account sales. Now when B has received the goods, B will incur some expenses like go down rent, advertisement. We will sell those goods, we will remit the amount, we will have to charge the commission on A. Also we will might have given the advance to Mr. A. So all those details will be given by B, that is consignee to consignor, in a document known as account sales. So it is like a summary which is prepared by B. So it is a periodical statement. Now this periodical statement can be weekly or it can be monthly, depends on the transaction, number of transaction, given by the consignee to consignor. It gives the details of sales, expenses incurred, commission due, any losses which has incurred. So there might be possible there is loss by fire in the godown, or there might be some normal loss. So any losses incurred, and also deducting amount of advance remitted, if any, by him. So B gives all the details related to this consignment business to A, whatever the transaction B has incurred. Now next, normal loss. Normal loss, it arises as a result of internal causes, for example leakage, evaporation, etc., and they are inherent in nature. So guys, we cannot avoid normal loss, it is inherent. So like if we are transporting a water, so there is possible of some leakage. So that loss which we cannot avoid, which is inherent in nature, that is called as normal loss. Abnormal loss, now this is not predicted loss. So if there is a fire and our goods are lost, or if there is any theft, that loss will be known as abnormal loss. So it arises due to negligence or accident, for example theft, fire, etc. So you understood this concept. Consignor, person who sends, consignee, person who receives, consignment, the goods which are dispatched, Proforma invoice is given by consignor, and account sales is given by consignee. They might ask you this as objective, so do remember these words, Proforma invoice and account sales. Sometimes they mention account sales in the question, that account sales denotes that. So account sales means B has denote, that is consignee has denote all the information in that. Normal loss, which is inherent, which is going to happen, and abnormal loss, which is not predicted and it might or might not happen, depends on your question. So that's it friends. I hope you understood the basic terms. In upcoming session, we will be learning more about the commission given to consignee. So stay tuned with us and don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss an update from us. Thank you.